Good day and welcome to the Marek Report. Alright everybody, welcome back to the next Marek Report. This is the Lifestyle Edition. Now, you might think we'd be talking about boats and fancy cars and parties with glamorous women, but we're going to focus on things that are mundane and important. And today's topic is about elevators and elevator etiquette and how can we use elevators to improve our life. And maybe the reason I'm talking about this is elevators can be very awkward spaces. You're in a tight space with maybe 5 other people you don't know. Maybe you're going to work or you're trying to look good in your apartment building. And maybe you haven't lived in a city for very long and you don't know about elevators and you might be a little bit scared of them. Well, let me put you at ease and lay down some basic things that might help you along your way. One common thing I see is I don't think a lot of people realize that elevators go both up and down. So you might be on the 3rd floor trying to go down to the bottom and an elevator shows up and you don't realize that there's a button that's saying, hey, the elevator is going up. So you get on the elevator, there's other people. And there's this whole awkward moment where you realize, I'm not even going down, I'm going up, I'm gonna have to go up, and the people are wondering why I'm there, if I'm not getting off anytime soon, am I going to the same floor as them? So there's a way to avoid that. Just remember, elevators go up, they go down. Look at the button before you get on. There's like 2 kind of flashing things that go up. One that's like an up arrow and one that's like a down arrow. So that's one way to avoid awkwardness. Now, should you talk on the elevator? It depends. You might not want to have like a loud conversation. You might not want to be on your cell phone and then it will cut off. That's kind of obnoxious anyway. But you can like talk to people and break the ice a little bit. There's something called an elevator pitch. So that's when you take 60 seconds to try to like talk to some hiring manager that you ran into and maybe you want a job and you just want to tell him about how great you are for 60 seconds. And these are my skills, and then you have to also fit in like how can he contact you. So it's like a stressful thing, but if you prepare and you have like a bit of a plan, you can do it, and it's worth, making other people listen to you. So that's called the elevator pitch, and you can probably find stuff on YouTube about that. One time I asked a girl out on a date on the elevator. You might want to avoid that unless you know what you're getting into. As it turned out, she had a boyfriend and she was sort of aghast that I even asked. Like, she looked worried. I hope she wasn't scared for her safety. But again, it's like a tight space. There's time limits. You might want to be careful about what you do and how intimate you get on an elevator. Some other basic things. Let other people get off the elevator. You might come to a floor and you're thinking, I don't need to get off on this floor. There could be somebody behind you that's trying to get off. When you're waiting at a platform, let the other people get off the elevator, then you can get on. Small things like that. You can let an old lady get on first to be more gentlemanly. And I guess the last question is, how do elevators work? And it's a question that's plagued mankind for a long time, but I personally don't know. I think it involves like the elevator and there's like a counterweight and then it goes up, it goes down. But luckily they do generally work. And if you ever look, there's like little safety inspection paper and has signatures. That's because people check the elevator frequently because nobody wants to get stuck in an elevator. I know somebody that did once and it sounded very awkward. Luckily we have smartphones now, so you won't be that bored. And there's like a button you can press for help and it calls like the fire department or something. So that is the Marek Report about elevator etiquette. I hope you learned something today. I think we're going to do a video about how there's too much technology and digital stuff in everyday items. That might be the next video, but until then, have a good one.